JEE Advanced Paper 1. It is question number 7. This question is related to the continuity and derivability. And in this question it is given f of x is a function and g of x is defined like this. G of x is equal to this x into f of x. Now we have to see which of the options are true in this. I go option after option. If you see the first option, that is the A option, function f of g of x is always continuous. Now whenever it is like this, here it is product, okay, but it depends upon the function f of x also. Is this f of x continuous or not? We don't know. If we don't know, then the product will be continuous or not, we have to decide. So I will take this example. Suppose if I take one example of f of x, that is as 1 by x square when x is not equal to 0 and 0 when x is equal to 0. Suppose if I see this, then I can say yes, I will write here g of x will become equal to into two pieces. Number one piece is something like this, that is x into 1 by x square when x is not equal to 0 and 0 when x is equal to 0. If you simplify this, it is very clear that this is nothing but 1 by x. So if it is 1 by x, then I can say yes, that is 1 by x, and here it is x is not equal to 0 and 0. Now you can very clearly say that as extending to 0, what is happening? Then I can say that this limit will not exist because of this 1 by x. So if you say that limit x tending to 0, g of x is does not exist. It is does not exist. Now we have to see here that A option, regarding A option, it is given that the function is always continuous. No, it is not continuous because the limit itself it does not exist. So now let us go to the next option, that is the B option. If you see the B option, if f of x is continuous, then g of x is differentiable. So we have to see whether this is possible or not. So it is given that f of x is continuous. What is that I can say? If it is continuous, then limit x tending to 0 f of x, this value will finitely exist. So I will write here it is, that is value is something f of 0. There is some constant. Now we have to talk about the differentiability of g of x. So if you say here it is g dash, and that to the point, at what point they are asking? 0. If it is at 0, then I will write here g dash 0. According to the definition, I have to write here x tending to 0. This is g of x minus g of 0 divided by this x minus 0. I will write this. Now if you see here the value of g of 0, the value of g of 0 will be what? So g of 0 will be dependent on this product. F of 0 is a finite value. Then I can say this g of 0 will become equal to 0 into f of 0, that is 0 into finite, this definitely will become equal to 0. Now so this value is 0. Now I have to substitute here this f of x, that is x into f of x. So I can say here limit x tending to 0, it is x into f of x divided by x. If I simplify this, I am seeing that this is equal to here something like this, limit x tending to 0 f of x. So this will be equal to something f of 0 which is finite. Now if this value is finite, that means this g dash 0 is existing. Hence I can say that this function is differentiable. That is the point. I will go for next option. I am going for the option C. What is option C? If you see here, the option C is if g of x is differentiable, then f of x is continuous. From here itself we are seeing, if they are giving that g of x is differentiable, this must be existing. If this is existing, yes, whenever this limit is existing finite, then definitely that will be existing. Now, limit existing, but that value is finite or equal or not, that is also one of the question. So now we have to see, if g of x is differentiable, then f of x is continuous. If you are assuming this is differentiable, then this limit should exist. But here we are asking whether it is continuous or not. So limit existing and equal to f of 0, that is a question mark here. It is not compulsory that it is always happen. So I will write here, it is for the C option, g of 0 is equal to limit x tending to 0. After writing this, g of x minus g of 0 divided by x minus 0. The same thing as I did here. If I write, I will get limit x tending to 0, it is f of x. Now, this limit exists, okay. But we have to talk about the continuity. When do you talk about the continuity? You have to say that if it is equal to f of 0, then only it is continuous. Is it equal to f of 0 or it is not equal to f of 0? We have to check. In fact, it is nothing clear whether f of 0 is defined or not defined. So I will say yes, f of x, if I take up a function something like this. If I take up a function something like this when x is not equal to 0 and 0 when x is equal to 0. Now I can say that if x is tending to 0, I am getting this limit. But it is not equal to f of 0. So I will say that limit, that means I will write g dash 0 equal to limit x tending to 0 f of x. According to this definition, I will get 1. But this will not become equal to f of 0. Now, it is very clear from this. I can say that this function f of x is not necessarily continuous. Hence, I can say that the C option is not the correct option. Let us go to the next option. That is, I will go for the D option. Let us see here. What is the D option? Option D is like this. If g of x is differentiable, then limit exists. Okay. From here only it is very clear. If this is differentiable, this will be finite. If this finite means this itself is existing. So I can say yes, D option is understood. With this, I can say that in this question, the option D is correct option. And also just now what you have seen, the B option is also correct. Hence, this is the solution for this question. Now,